All right, ladies. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to get a guy back after you pushed them away with your neediness. You know, after you didn't listen to my advice and telling you don't text them back. All right. How do you get it back? So this is what we're going to talk about today. All right. And this is something that's very simple, because if it was because you were needy, then there's a very simple solution. A lot of people get mad at me when I say there's a simple solution for your problem, because they feel angry. They're like, why is it so simple? Isn't it supposed to be complicated? No. When it becomes complicated, that means there's no order. There's a lack of order. There's a lack of focus. A lot of time for the most complicated problems requires very simple solutions. The most complicated problem in the world is selfishness and greediness, and the easiest solution is going within yourself. But because of that, we don't do that. We just look on the outside, and so that's where politics and complications come into play. But politicians with high levels of self-awareness and of empathy, and whose values are based on based on, how can I say it, are based on intrinsic motivation rather than extrinsic motivation, we usually yield to a better world. But I'm coming out of the subject. But let's talk about this. How do you get a guy back after you push them away with your neediness? So let's say you're talking to a guy and you met him and you were a little bit too needy with him, right? By the way, if anyone takes notes, let me know. And if you took notes, please send them to me, okay? Let me know. So if you got with a guy and he liked you and all that sort of stuff, but you were too needy and that pushed him away, this is what you could do, okay? Which is the first thing you have to do is step away from his life for a few weeks to maybe a few months. Why? Because you got to reset his perception of you. He already has a perception of you being needy. So what you have to do then is to reset his clock, reset his perception of you by making space. That's what happens a lot with our friends. You know, when you have a friend of yours and you haven't seen your friend for a long time, right after you see him, you got to get acquainted. You feeling him back. You're like, how is he? Is he the same person that I left before? Right? And then you guys are back to being friends. But if you notice that he changed, there's a new dynamic, a new way of communicating. The eye contact is not the same. Everything's not the same, right? So as humans, we're never ending flux of change. We're very dynamic by nature. That's why we got our brain has neuroplasticity for that same reason. We got to adapt to the environment. That's why we proliferated throughout all of these years. So when you talk, you got to take a break, at least a month or more than a month. Why? Because he has to forget how you were. He has to forget how you are. Like, you know those friends that we say to ourselves, man, why am I not friends with him? And then you see him again, then you're like, oh, fuck, wait a minute. That's why I'm not his friend. When you in that space is when you forget how he is. You know, it's kind of like when you go back to an ex. You're like, oh, why did I break up with you? 10 minutes later, oh, fuck, no wonder. That's why I broke up with him. Like, that's what happens. So the same thing with you. You want to give him that space so he forgets you, right? But during that space, you want to continue. You want to be on his Facebook, all right? If you guys are on social media together, you want to stay on his. You want to be continue being his social media buddy, right? But then after a couple months, it doesn't matter. It depends on how needy you were. After a couple months, I would say 2 or 3 months or something like that, right? You contact them again, all right? You contact them again. Or he'll contact you. But what I recommend, though, is to start liking his statuses. Start liking a few of his statuses. But within that moment of you being away as well, and I always say this, get in shape. Work on your physicals. Work on getting physically better. You have to. Because what you want to do is he wants to remember you, but then when he sees you again, he needs to say, oh fuck, wait a minute, you got better looking, you know. And the easiest way to do this is to actually get in shape. Okay, so I'm not fat shaming. Oh my God, he's telling us to be healthy. How dare he? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying get in shape, motherfucker. All right, get in that gym. All right, it's not bad. It's not gonna kill you. All right, it's not gonna kill you. So when you do that, so he returns, he's gonna be like, oh fuck, damn girl, you got better looking, you know? And that's what you want, right? So then what you want to do then is to, once that happens, you want to like his status. You want to start posting pictures if you're looking all sexy and shit, right? But don't contact him, but just like his statuses once or twice a week. Just like it, right? You're gonna get on his radar and he's gonna start noticing yourself, right? He's gonna start seeing you. And what may happen is that if you actually push them away because of your neediness, and you're posting pictures that you got better looking, there's gonna be a moment or maybe a time of the day when he's gonna be a little horny, when he's gonna be a little needy for some relief, right? And because you were liking his statuses and you were posting pictures and you got better looking, all right, and he knows he got you because you were needy, so he's like, this is easy. He's gonna contact you, all right? That's what's gonna happen. He may contact you or he may not contact you, but that's not the point. So when he contacts you, right, you want to act like nothing happened. You want to act normal, right? You want to say, oh, how have you been? Talk to him like you're talking to an old friend. All right, talk to him like you're talking to an old friend, and then ask him during the midst of the conversation. Ask him, by the way, are you always busy? Just ask him, are you always busy? Why? Because this is gonna give you the buy-in temperature. What is he doing? Is he interested in you or is he not interested in you? Why does this work? Because when you ask someone, are you always busy? If somebody likes you, they're gonna say yes, but, or they're gonna say no, I'm not always busy. But if someone doesn't like you, no one's gonna say, "Oh yeah, man, I gotta go meet with the embassy of North Korea. I gotta go to, I'm busy, motherfucker. I'm busy." Right? He's gonna say he's busy, and he's not gonna give you any space. That's what happens. You girls do that too. I found out because the girls that liked me were never busy, or were busy. They gave me a space between that busyness. The girls that don't like me are always busy. I'm like, girl, look, I know you're not saving the world, all right? So some of these girls were acting like they were like like I always say, they were acting like they were like the ambassador to the United Nations, yo. So busy. I'm like, yo, you better be saving the world, yo, man. But they were just bullshitting. You see, when you don't like someone, you're gonna procrastinate meeting them, and that's the case. So when you ask him, Davey, and he says yes, but or no, you're gonna say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm okay, and then just ask him. So, hey, what are you doing this week? What are you doing this? What are you doing this? I'm going to my friends. I'm going to go to I'm going to a concert with my friends. Maybe you should tag along. Maybe you should tag along. Maybe, all right. That's the way to do it, right? And for the most part, when that happens, they're usually going to either say yes, right? Or if you don't do that, if you're not the one that asks, are you always busy? And you guys having like a casual conversation, he's gonna be the one that actually, he's gonna be the one that begins he's gonna initiate asking you out. That's what's gonna happen. But it has to start with you giving him space. Initially, at the end of the day, you gotta back off for a good while so that he could restart his system and so that he could forget how you were in person. All right, and that happens over time. People forget the emotional imprints that you left on them, right? So when you're meeting him, when you're talking to him, let's say you manage to take him out on a date, right? And you guys are talking and whatnot. Don't talk about how you, how can I say this? Talk about how he changed. Say, but you changed. You look a little different. I'm like, no, what do you mean different? No, you got older. You looking, little, oh, fuck, look, you're getting a little older there, huh? Like, just talk about how he changed, all right? And then talk about how your taste in men changed. Talk about how you don't like his type no more. Now, you don't have to say that you don't like his, but you don't have to say, like, I don't like your type no more. No. If he looks like me, say, nah, I'm just, talk about how you love guys that look like Leonardo DiCaprio. I always bring this up, but this is a way to bring up needing his heart. But like, nah, man, I just love, literally just bring up a topic about a celebrity that looks the total opposite of how he looks and say you started liking guys like him. You see, man, I don't know, just got in crush with guys that look like Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know why. It makes him an addict. He's like, what the fuck, bitch? I don't look like him. What the hell's your problem? I thought I was your type, right? And so that insinuates that he lacks it. But the key to this is that when you talk about, oh man, I don't know why, but as soon as I started watching Titanic, I just have a crush on guys that look like Leonardo DiCaprio. Change the topic immediately. Don't even elaborate, but just change the topic, because that's going to permeate his unconscious. It's more like an unconscious jab, and he's going to think about it for the rest of the night at an unconscious level. It's kind of like hanging out with someone and knowing that your parent, and knowing that you gotta do your work, knowing that you got a paper due in a couple hours, but you're focused on talking on the present moment. But deep down in your mind, you know you gotta do something. It's not prevalent, but it's there. It's subtle. That's gonna be the same thing with that insecurity that you're gonna be jabbing at. It's gonna be a subtle insecurity, all right? And that's how it's done, right? And again, it's simple. Like, if you were needy, right, what you have to do then is to, when you're talking to the guy, is observe the breath, right? You observe your breath when you're talking to the guy. And I've talked about this plenty of times. I'm not gonna have to elaborate on this, right? But just notice the breath. Like, literally, like, I was talking to you guys normal, right? So what I'm gonna notice my breath, right? And when you notice your breath, you have to slow down. Because if you don't notice, if you're talking fast, and you're not noticing, and if you're talking too fast and you're in your head, you're not gonna have enough time and space to notice the breath. That's how it is. And when you notice a breath, your vibe instantly changes. Your vibe instantly changes. You slow down. You speak at a more sensual pace. All right. It's more relaxed. You could tell that the person is at ease with themselves. And that all starts by bringing attention from your mind to the breath. All right. And as you could tell, you can easily tell that the energy, it's not that the energy lowers, right? But it becomes more fixated. It becomes more there. All right. And neediness doesn't go through that. People don't feel you as a needy person. They feel you as more dominant, as more confident, as more grounded, all by noticing the breath, right? And so when you're talking to the guy, right, it's not that you can become more masculine, because you might think, oh, wow, like, Alexis, oh, man, you were looking masculine when you're doing that, right? No, I'm kidding, right? It's not that you become more masculine, but that the energy that you have, either feminine or masculine, is gonna go to an equilibrium. It's gonna be like, zoop, at a perfect pace, at a perfect place, perfect for the present moment. So that if you're a woman with your womanly voice and you're talking calm and relaxed, with the female voice, it's gonna sound more sensual. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like a guy. When a guy like, ugh, it's not sexy how women do it. Like when girls do it, like when girls are like, ugh, like in a female voice, it sounds a lot harder, right? It sounds the same thing. So that even though you're slowing down, right, I'll sound more masculine because I'm a guy. And that's the voice that guys have, right? But women, it's gonna sound more feminine because that's how the female voice is. But the energy is still the same. It's just differentiating between the female voice of being a little more squeaky and annoying, being more female, and the man voice sounds more deeper and sexual, right? I'm kidding. I gotta stop saying I'm kidding. I gotta own up to my fucking perverted little jokes. But yeah, that's how you do it, man. It's very simple. If you lost them because of neediness, what you have to do is work on yourself. Work on becoming more present. Notice the breath. When you're talking to the guy that you lost him because of your neediness, you notice the breath. He's gonna tell you that you changed. I'm telling you, look, this actually works. Every client of mine that I coach, this is the primary mode of my teachings, man. Noticing the breath. It's a powerful thing, and you guys can tell that as soon as I did that, I slowed down. I immediately slowed down. And talk about how to change your personality, you know? Anyways, this is Alex from mindforattraction.org. I didn't know today was Cinco de Mayo, right? It's crazy. Like, I'm becoming like an old, sexy man. Like, I'm not going out as much, right? I'm not partying as much as I used to. And I enjoy it. I am enjoying myself right now. I'm actually trying to get some things done. And hopefully I could get a one seminar in by this summer, before the summer starts. Okay, that's one thing. I want to get a seminar in for at least 1 or 2 days and see how that goes, and then see if I like it and continue going. All right, that's my plan. I'm not trying to force things. It's just because I see everyone else doing seminars and shit, right? I'm not gonna do it just because they're doing it, right? Money, to be honest with you, money's not my main motivator. For me, my main motivator is to be able to help people out and to be able to give you guys some form of value that will change your lives. Because if I really wanted to, I could just talk about like how to make a guy chase, like just videos that get views, right? No. I'd rather make videos that actually help people out and actually make a difference, and that actually permeates you more than just surface level change, which is getting a guy. I'd rather teach you guys principles that will branch out and are dynamic enough to be used in different facets of your life. You know, you became an honest person when you tell someone to have a burger in their face. I'm starting to do that, like where I see people like in the streets, like, you know, I'm not like I'm looking for burgers and shit, right? But I do notice myself, like when somebody has a fucking burger like on their faces, right? I literally say, yo, dude, you got a burger, bro. You gotta take that out. But I remember a couple years ago, I used to be shy to tell people that. Isn't that weird, right? Like, we're so shy to tell somebody they have a burger in their face. And I found myself a lot easier to say that. Like, it's kind of crazy, like. I would never do that in the past, but now I do, and I don't know why, but like I just don't care. Like I know that that's what I would want somebody to do for me, right? And I don't know what that says about someone who's willing to tell you, bro, you got a booger in your face, or bro, you got some food right here, right? It's weird telling people that, right? But who knows? That may be a mark of confidence. Who knows, right? I don't like to act like I'm the most confident person. I just like to act like someone who's extremely transparent and who knows that they're not perfect. All right? Anyways, this is Alex from mindforattraction.org. If you guys need one-on-one coaching, go to mindforattraction.org/coach-in-a-pocket. If you guys want to say thank you, comment below. If you guys have a question, a short question, comment below. If you guys have a book, let me say something. If you write books, I'm not reading them. I'm just not gonna read them. I know you guys love writing books, right? You guys should just be authors and write it and put it on Amazon Kindle, right? But I just can't answer them, right? The best way to get your questions answered is to either comment below or go to or wait for the live streams when I post them. That's when I answer some of these questions. Anyways, take care and have a good day. Bye bye.